more predictably when they're on wet tyres. But there is Alezi, who, as far as I can see, is on slick tyres still. And he might well be saying to himself, well, they're supposed to stop the race, and I should stay out here rather than give places away by going for the pits. And in that, he will have every justification. They must do something about this rule. I sincerely feel that it's wrong for them nowadays to stop the race when it rains. I think they should already make their own arrangements.
And I will most certainly second that. I don't know whether Jean Alesi would at the moment. Presumably would, from the way he is charging on. But Mansell's lap time has come down by about 16 seconds from his best. The fastest lap of the race so far was Nigel Mansell's on lap 37, 1 minute 17.070, and he's now lapping at about 1:33.6.
Well, Alezi is doing a tremendous job because he's only lapping less than a second slower than Mansell, and he's on slick, so things aren't that bad. The track isn't that wet. It looks very wet there. Of course, the cloud.
Yes, and he would have been doing about 100 miles, and here it is, he's doing about 170 miles an hour when that started, and he gets fully sideways. Look at the left lock he's got on. Back goes the back, and fortunately he hits a bit of tarmac there, which would have slowed him and given him some grip. And what a fortunate thing it is that this Magny-Cours circuit has got an enormously wide runoff area before the concrete walls, because on many other, indeed most other circuits, that Ferrari would have been into the wall and out of the race, and both of them having changed to wet weather tyres. And Mansell is now on his 54th lap. And as I say, at the end of this lap, if the officials want to stop the race, they could do so and judge the French Grand Prix to have run a 54-lap three-quarter distance, and that is Morbidelli sliding in the Minardi Lamborghini before, and from the look of him, he has not changed onto wet weather tyres. And so Mansell leads on lap 54. He leads Patrese by 31 seconds. Alesi is 18 seconds in third position, still on slick tyres. Quite incredible behind Patrese. And this is Alesi. Watch him.
This seems to be the wettest corner of the circuit now, and that certainly is pretty tricky for slicks. The other parts of the circuit aren't so bad, and he'll be hoping. Of course, the people who have moved on to wet tyres, they move a lot more water off the track. That's a yellow flag, so we've got a spinner at least ahead. Yes, into the gravel trap. And that's the Cesaris, who we just passed. And he looks as if he's terminally stuck in the gravel there. And Alezi doing a tremendous job, no doubt, using that traction control system that seems to work so well on the Ferrari in wet weather. Drive by computer.
Yeah, and unseen by you, I can tell you that Johnny Herbert has moved ahead of his teammate Mika Häkkinen, and as I hopefully forecast a little while ago, both Lotus cars are now in the top 6. Nigel Mansell is on his 55th lap in the French Grand Prix, which looks as though at the moment it is going to run the full 69 two-leg laps, and I'm waiting for Riccardo Patrese to come through, expecting to see him in second position.
Held out for the race to be stopped again. But as I say, if any good comes from this, it will be a chance to rethink this wet weather rule and clarify it. He could still possibly give Riccardo Patrese a run for his second place, because remember, the circuit dries, Patrese is going to have to go for dry tyres, as is Mansell, but Mansell is really out of reach. But Patrese might not be, especially if he delays his stop for too long.
Now, the astounding thing is that Jean Alesi, that you are watching, is only lapping 7/10 of a second slower on slick tyres than Riccardo Patrese, who is in second place, is lapping on wet tyres. And the race order on this, the 56th lap, is Mansell leading Patrese by some 29 seconds. Ferrari at last of Jean Alesi, only just slithering his way through the two corners which lead into the pit lane, and this means to say that now Martin Brundle is going to have a very good chance of regaining his third position.
Yes, and that was really the right decision. Oh dear, and has he stalled it? the rain is still tipping down, and that'll be a great shame after such a magnificent battle on the dry tyres in adverse conditions. That Alezi, the unequal struggle, in fact the rain is still coming down, there's no chance of the circuit drying out before the end of the race.
Well, I'm in a position of being required to have eyes all around my head at the moment. I'm pretty sure that Martin Brundle has now moved ahead of Alesi, who I was watching in the pits, and will be up into third position. We'll let you know as soon as the lap has completed, and we're on lap 57 out of 69 now. And Nigel Mansell's lead now has gone up to 33 seconds, because he is lapping 2.5 seconds faster than Patrese, who appears to have settled for second place, as Alesi at the Adelaide hairpin, now on wet weather tyres, had the problem that the other drivers had who just switched to wets, judging anew the braking distance that you need as you come on a wet surface on wet weather tyres after being used to it on slicks. And he nearly overshot there. And just look at the weather conditions now. This reminds me of the Spanish Grand Prix, hit by Michael Schumacher on the first lap of the race and taken out of it. And then Gerhard Berger retired with a problem. And so that means no points for Senna, no points for Berger, who were fourth equal in the World Championship, no points for McLaren, and the more than distinct possibility, with 9 laps to go, the peloton will move ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship.
Yes, and as we suspected, Alesi is giving it a real go in his pursuit of Martin Brundle. He was 13 seconds behind him when they last crossed the line, and lapping near sort of 4 or 5 seconds quicker. There's a bit of traffic for him to deal with. And that's Morbidelli. Morbidelli actually moved over and made some room, but slippery, especially in the front part of Vanna for Alesi. Now, Brundle's gone through. We'll see. Alesi goes through. Well, in fact, he lost time to Brundle on that lap. So Brundle's fending off well, and Martin Brundle has, in fact, responded to the threat from behind and speeded up a bit. And the gap is 14.5 seconds.
Mansell has lapped everybody up to fourth place man Jean Alesi now, and the race order on lap 61 out of 69 as you watch third position man Martin Brundle is Mansell leading Patrese by 31 seconds. Patrese, Jean Alesi into the pits, not out. Now, why? This is far more than tyres. You can tell from the languid attitudes of everybody that it's not a tyre stop, it's something far more serious.
Well, there were flames sticking around the back then, and that...
In the top 6 places. Lap 63, getting closer and closer for Nigel